What's up, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes. Today it's time for another vlog video. I got a couple of things to talk about today, so we'll get right into it. I won't waste too much of your time. What am I vaping today? I've got the gold-plated Sentinel. This thing came out of retirement. I cleaned it up. I took the bottom button apart, kind of cleaned it up, gave it a nice polish, and got it going. The bottom button on these, if you have a Sentinel, is the version 4. Is murder to take apart. Like, it has an O-ring in there that you kind of got to reef out, and it's horrible to get at, but once you get it going, it's awesome. It actually hits really, really well. Silver-plated copper contacts in it. It's awesome. I've still got the Monster Tiger build from, like, it's been what, like 5 weeks since I posted that video. Same build in my black tugboat, and it's hitting so well. Like, my favorite build. If there was one build that I could just vape for the rest of my life, it would be that one or some type of tiger kind of variation. That's just what I dig personally. This thing's hitting awesome. I got something else in the mail about a little over a week ago, and it's the hot box. This is a Hammond box, 120 watt Raptor chip in here. I got this from one of the guys on the Facebook group. Jim, you rock, dude. Thank you so much, man. I've got the Patriot version 2 with the Chuff Enough on it. Got a build that's about 0.35 ohms on it, so it's kind of maxing it out. The batteries run in series on this, so it's kind of like stacking batteries, so you kind of got to be careful with that. Sony VTC 4s in it that are powering this beast, and man, it works well. It works well. I think Jimmy's going to sell some of these. He might sell some of these. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems that way. He might sell a couple of them. If you're interested, you can contact him definitely through our Facebook group, all right? Check it out. I dig this thing. It hits like a monster. It hits like a monster. Wow, I got to juice this thing up. I got some strawberry custard. Let's try this out. Yeah, the Patriot version 2 is good. It's good. I dig this thing a lot. Between this, the Tugboat, and the Tobe, they're probably my favorite Addies on the go. You know, the Doge is really nice for clouds. I dig it a lot, and the flavor can be good in the Doge as well. So the video for that should have gone up, you know, yesterday or the day before or something like that. So check that out. You know, the build in it was kind of, I thought it was kind of ugly. Like, the second coil didn't work out that pretty, but it works. Like, that build works well. All right, let me hit this one time. Yeah, it's a beast. The only thing about these boxes is that the vape isn't quite hot enough for me. Like, I need to build a lower resistance to get more heat out of it. That's what I like. Like, this thing can chuck clouds, and it's awesome, and I really, really dig it. Just, I need to find, like, a hot vape that I can push into it. You know, maybe you have suggestions. Maybe you have a box mod. You've done something that works out just hot. Let me know if you've got something. Another thing, the Hexome. The Hexome came back. This thing I bought probably around the beginning of August, something like that, and it broke. Like, the second day that I used it, it fried. It just stopped working, or it was hitting at like 2.9 volts all the time when it was set up to like anywhere on the potentiometer. It was screwed. So I finally got this thing back, and it works. I'm thinking about doing a video for this. I'm not sure. The OKRT10 chip is pretty cool. Like, it works good, but it's a 10 amp chip. And like, this box has a 20 amp chip in it. That, you know, 120 watt Raptor chip is 20 amps. So it's a little better for what I like to do. And the 10 amp chip is just a little on the low end, like a little weak for me, I guess. And it's good to put the K-Fun on. Like, I've kind of fallen back in love with my K-Fun. This is the K-Fun Light Plus. It's an authentic, and I dig it a lot. I've got this huge long tip on it, which is kind of awkward looking, but I dig it. I kind of dig it. It's wide bore tip. I dig this thing, you know, fast tech tip. But let me have a hit. Let me turn it up a bit. The reason why I've been digging the K-Fun on this is because there's some adjustability in voltage, right? Like, you don't just have to build it for your mech and go, okay, well, I built a 0.76 ohm build. Like, it's not good on a mech, but if you could put like 4.8 to 5 point, you know, 2 volts to it, it becomes a wonderful vape, man. Yeah, I've been taking this with me, and it's kind of like my backup. Like, this is my backup for everything. So I'll usually take like a tube mod, like Jimmy's mod, and then this is my backup if all else fails. Like, this is here. And it's good. I dig it. I like the red kind of detonator button on it. I dig it. Hex ohm, it's pretty cool. You know, if you like vaping around, you know, 0.5, 0.6 ohm and up, you'll really like the hex ohm. Like, you'll really, really like the hex ohm. Let me have a sip of coffee here before we get pushing further. Other stuff I've been vaping, I just polished up the Manhattan. I'm going to retire this for a couple of days and see how, if I'm lost without it. But this is like my favorite thing going, and it's looking good. Somebody asked me, actually a couple of people have asked me about what I use to polish my mods with. I use, it's a brand called Twinkle, okay? Twinkle brand, it's silver polish. It's not their regular polish, it's the silver polish. It's a little less abrasive. So if you do have mods that are really smooth, fine finish, it doesn't mar them and scratch them up at all. Like if you use Brasso or something like that, it's really rough. It's really abrasive and really gritty, and it could kind of like scratch up your mods. So I use the silver polish, and it works really good. Twinkle brand, all right? That's what polishes all this stuff up. The 26650 Ember mod, I've been using this guy, and I dig it. Like, I really dig it. I had some problems with it, had to send it back. It was a pain in the ass dealing with it, but I got it, and it's going good. The batteries I've been using in it are these vape power batteries. They're 40 amps. They pulse up to 60. These are badass batteries. Like, these are champ batteries. And I've kind of been testing these AWT batteries out for about the last, 3 or 4 days at this point. And they say they're a 75 amp battery, high drain battery. Whether that's the pulse, I would assume it's the pulse rate is 75 amps. I don't know. But they work just about as well as these vape power batteries. So, yeah, I like both of these a lot. Like, they're better than the MNKEs. MNKEs are kind of weak, if you have a 26650 mod and you're using MNKEs in it, I would suggest trying one of these. Like the vape power batteries could really help you out. This is the 4200 mAh. I know they make, like a 5200 mAh as well. I'd probably stick to the lower mAh. It would probably hit a little bit better. But yeah, to each his own, right? What else are we doing here? Got all the mods out of the way. Some of the juices I've been vaping are my own. Just kind of playing around with custard recipes that I like. Some people have asked me if I would sell them. I probably would. Kind of limited kind of thing, once everything's ready. But I don't want to, hook somebody up with some and have it be shitty, Like, I really want it to be fine-tuned to just the way that I like it. And I want to vape it for a while so I know that it's good as your all day, and just so it's straight, like too many people are firing off juice companies and stuff where they find recipes online, and then it's like, this is our, fruit mix, and it's just something kind of whack, and it's, people start vaping it. They're like, this is so much better than the crap I got at some small store, And I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? I'd rather have it be really good, okay? So there's that. The Mutant, okay? Now, this is something I wanted to talk about. I got this. This is the Fast Tech one. It's dirt cheap, like it's like 26 bucks or something like that. It's pretty cheap. And from what happened at Vape Bash had that incident where somebody was firing one of these in their pocket. I guess it was auto firing in their pocket, and it got hot. They pulled it out, chucked it into a crowd. There was a cloud competition going on, and the battery vented and the cap popped off and blew out a ceiling tile or something. Like, just ridiculous madness, ridiculous madness. So I just thought, I would get one of these and find that it was going to be okay. Like, just, prove the theory wrong that, it's bad or whatever. And, just say, yeah, it's a safe mod. Even the clone is okay, but it's not. Like, honestly, if you see this Mutant and you're looking at it on Fast Tech, don't buy it. Like, don't buy it. It's the worst auto-firing monster that I've ever used. Like, it's so bad. It is so bad. Like, there's nothing protecting it there. It's got that little adapter on there that you use with it. And it's so you got to finesse it so much to get it dialed just right where it will fire and have an okay throw to it, or it doesn't fire at all. So it's just really fine tuning this thing to make it work. And it's bad. I tried it with both 18 650 batteries and 26 650 batteries, like just in there. Like I have a tube that fits that adapts to 18 650s. And I tried with both, and it's just horrible. It auto fires really easily, you know, like you can get it working for a bit. Then after you fire it a couple of times, if that moves around a little bit, it started auto firing on me a couple of times. So bad mod, like horrible. Don't get the Fast Tech Mutant, okay? Like don't. I'm not saying that the original authentic Mutant or even the tobacco clones and stuff like that are bad. Like they're probably decent, okay? They're probably decent, but the Fast Tech one is awful. Like it's friggin' awful. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's a paperweight, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't give that away to somebody I don't like, you know? Like it's that bad. It's that bad. I also got a penny clone from them at the same time because they're cheap, right? They're dirt cheap and the shipping's free and whatever. So I got one and it's okay. It's okay, but is it awesome? No, it's kind of misfires a bit, but you can get it working. Like I kind of filed down the contacts on it a bit to make it work, you know? So it does work and it does hit pretty well, but you know, is it perfect? No. You know, I might use it on a different video and kind of show you what it's all about. Clones, man, clones. I want to talk a minute about clones. I don't want to go too deep on it. Clones, the thing is, you know, companies come out with something, right? Like, company will come out with, like, the Doge. Like, I heard the Doge has been cloned already. Like, the Doge has only been around for a few months. You know what I mean? Like, 3-4 months, maybe, tops. Since it was announced, like, they, you know, they're on, like, the 3rd round of shipping those things right now. And, like, it's been cloned, you know? Like, things get cloned like that. Like, China is hopping on it, and it's like, you know, one man's, you know, hard work and labor is just like, okay, well, how do we set up the machines to machine this thing, you know? And they do it. You know, here's the 454. Like, the 454 was cloned forever ago. Like, EH Pro cloned this. I think Tobacco cloned this. And it's kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? It's kind of cheesy. I've had a bunch of clones, and I've had authentics too. I find that the authentics are kind of more near and dear to my heart. You know, once I use them, and the quality is a little bit better, so you kind of dig them a little bit more. Like, maybe, you know, the deck of the Addy or something is just a little less sharp, so you like building on it more. Or just it's a cleaner look, or just it vapes a little bit better. And I found that with most of my authentics. You know, there are some clones that are a little bit better than the authentics, of course. But for the most part, I'll vape authentics a little bit more than my clones, especially when it comes to drippers. You know, like I had Tobe clones and they were okay. But I would find that, you know, I'd have some problems with them or spinning center post or something like that. Whereas my authentic ones weren't so bad, you know, they weren't so bad. Tugboats, I've been digging the authentic tugboats. I haven't tried a clone. Maybe they're really awesome. But yeah, you know, it's there. Clones are there. They're not going to go away. But it's kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? It's kind of cheesy if you were in the perspective of the person who made it, you know, like if I made this mod and it was good, then, you know, somebody clones it, I'd be like, you know how hard I worked? Like I lived to make that, you know, like it was my life for a bit. And now you're just raping me of my hard work. Like it would kind of suck. So I see it in that, you know, point of view. But at the same time, you got to look at something like this and go, it's like a copper tube with contacts and a button. Like, it's just some metal pieces put together and a copper pipe that they cut and thread it. You know what I mean? And yeah, the threading is probably better on the authentics than the clones, you know, for the most part. You know, sometimes it's not. But really, the material itself is not that expensive. So I think the prices of authentics would be nice if they came down a bit, because it's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? If somebody can make, you know, the 454 is actually a pretty decent priced Addy, but, you know, there's stuff that is way out of your reach. You know, there's $130 atomizers that, you know, can be cloned and then sold for like, you know, 30 bucks or 40 bucks, something like that. Like, that's ridiculous in my eyes, all right? Like, this guy has 92% silver contacts in it, so it brings the price up a little bit. So I understand why the Ember might be a little more expensive. You know what I mean? But some other shit, it's like, really? Whatever. You know, I vape both. Like, it's not that big a difference to me, you know? Like, it doesn't, you know, hurt my feelings either way, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of my feeling on clones, you know? Like, I can kind of go both ways, you know what I mean? So there's that. What else was I going to talk about? Something that was kind of interesting to me I wanted to talk about was vapor signature, okay? Now, people talk about blowing bigger clouds and getting better density in their clouds, stuff like that. And they asked me, how would I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? And then somebody was commenting about, you know, if you can get your vapor blasting out the sides, then it's way better because you get vapor blasting out the sides as well as the top. And, you know, it's kind of like double. Well, no, it's really not. The way that you want your vapor signature to be produced is pretty much straight up. You know, if you can build something where the vapor is coming straight up, like pretty much, or just kind of V'ing out a little bit, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. If you got it shooting out the sides, it's going to bounce off your top cap. It's going to go back through your cotton. It's kind of going to get rid of the density of that vapor and come out airy. You know, that's what's going to happen. Let me see what the vapor signature on this guy is. I don't think it's perfect on this, but it's decent, you know? Like, I think it still farts out the sides because my cotton kind of collapsed a bit. Yeah, see? It's kind of coming out the sides here a little bit. And it's not perfect. Like, I would like it to just go like that big blast in the middle. Would be perfect. And then you would get the best density of clouds. And it's something that you can kind of wick to. You can kind of get it. But there's some madness to the vapor, you know? There's some madness to the vapor when you're building. You know, sometimes it's going to go here and there and everywhere. But if you can get it just kind of pumping up, and you got it that figured out, like, you are set. Like, you're set for the cloud contest. You know what I mean? Like, definitely. All right? And it does help. It does help a little bit. And every advantage helps. You know, like, there's so many little things that add up to, you know, blowing decent clouds, I guess. You know, I like blowing decent clouds. I'm not the best, you know, cloud blaster out there, but I do okay. You know what I mean? I dig blowing decent clouds, and I dig having a combination of flavor with it, and that's where I'm at, you know? And I like warm vapes, so I build low resistance. The lower the resistance that I build, the hotter the vape is that I get. And that's kind of what I prefer. I kind of like a really nice warm vape. That's what I dig. It's satisfying to me. So let me have a hit here. Talking about hot vapes. Yeah, the Sentinel, the gold-plated Sentinel is hitting well today. So vapor signature, that's good. You can kind of get it sometimes. When you're wicking, you can kind of get it where your wick is underneath your coils, right? And it's kind of blocking the front out a little bit, okay? You can kind of get your cotton, you know, out a little bit in front of your coil, so when the vapor is produced, it kind of just starts pumping up, like two kind of streams coming up. If you watch my 20 gauge build video that I did, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, I did a build that was 20 gauge, dual coil, single strand, continuous strand, whatever you want to call it, build. If you watch that video, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of it, when I fire it off, I'm pretty sure I fire it on the gold-plated Sentinel, that it's just kind of coming up and just V'ing just a little bit. Like, the vapor signature on that one is decent. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And that's what you're after, you know, and it really helps. And it's kind of like a neat little topic to talk about. And I've been thinking about bringing it up on the Facebook group as well. And maybe now we will, you know, and see what people think about it. So, yeah, there's that. This mod is cool, but it kind of gets scuffed up a little bit. Like, the gold plating just wants to come off of it. So if I bring this with me somewhere, I always have to bring this. It's a vape sock, and tuck that in there just so it's all protected, and then maybe like hang it off a belt loop or something. It's kind of weird, but these are cool too. If you haven't seen these vape socks, put a bottle of juice in there too. They're kind of decent, especially in the summertime if you're wearing shorts and stuff like that. Maybe you don't have a lot of pockets. It's pretty cool to have one of those. I dig it a lot. That's pretty much all I really wanted to get into on this video. Like, I don't want to make this one too short. A lot of my last videos have been like super long. Like, they've been super long, and some people dig that. I know a lot of you guys dig the long videos, and it's cool to chill out. You could build coils and stuff like that and kind of listen and watch and whatever, and that's cool. But there's a lot of people who've been like, dude, your videos are getting way too long. It's like, sorry, I'm trying to kind of be thorough with them. Like, I'm trying to be really thorough, and I understand there's some of you guys that, your building skills are really good. Like, you're advanced as a builder, and there's certain things that you don't need to know, or you have a way that you do it and you're content doing it, and that's cool. That's cool. But there's other people who don't. You know what I mean? And they need a little bit of help. So that's what I was here to do, was kind of help people. That's why I started a channel. I was like, I wanted to help people. So, I wanted people, like, I wanted to sing from the rooftops, like, I like vaping, you know what I mean? And then help people out. So that's cool. Oh, another thing I almost forgot. I'm going to talk about this kind of quick. Is there was a thread on Canadian Vapors Facebook group, okay? And somebody else shot a video, too, about YouTube reviewers and who they like and whatever. So I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. Like, when I started watching videos, I watched all the regulars, right? Like, you watch, Grim Green and watch Basardo. Maybe you watch Indoor Smokers, stuff like that. I thought Indoor Smokers was kind of funny, kind of like Stoner Dude. He was pretty funny to watch. And maybe Dimitri's videos. When I started building, Rip Trippers was kind of doing videos that were kind of build tutorials, like, micro coily kind of, building this and building that, and how he got like a Jenny going, something like that. And they were cool. They really helped me out. I watched his videos. But then when I kind of got more deep into building, I started watching a guy who was, his handle on YouTube was MC Vapes. And his videos were champ. Like, he was doing builds, probably a year and a half ago that people are kind of doing now, or started doing, like parallel builds and stuff like that. Really ramped up at the beginning of this year. Like, people were doing parallel builds just like, oh my God, so-and-so invented it. And it didn't get invented at the beginning of the year, because I remember watching videos, last year that were, older videos with parallel builds in it. And it's kind of like you take a parallel build, and it's like taking that single coil that you're wrapping, and really, in essence, it's becoming two coils. Like, you're wrapping two coils instead of one. Or if you're dual coiling, instead of having dual coils, you're really like, if you do 5 wrap dual coils with parallel, it's really like quad 5 wraps, which is neat. It's kind of like cheating, you know what I mean? So it was cool, but that was there. Like, MC Vapes was doing stuff like that a long time ago. He was doing really neat build videos, and he was doing like low resistance stuff, and they were like trying to vent batteries, and so like it was madness. And it was like, MNKE batteries were kind of the sub-ohm batteries at the time, and so much has changed, so much has changed, and it's really cool. But I used to like him a lot, man. And then I got into kind of, I don't know, just other stuff. I kind of veered away from Phil and those guys, and Rip. I like Rip, but he's kind of predictable for me, like, I really like Rip, but like, I can kind of read into like what the next build video is, and I won't say, because I'll probably be wrong now that I said it, but it's just kind of like, it's just some of the videos I don't watch. Like, some of them are good. I watched what was the last one? I watched the Dark Horse RDA video, and it was decent, you know what I mean? But some of it's just too like out there and exciting, that I just kind of want to chill out and watch a video, and yeah, but that's, personal preference, right? Like, and people kind of diss on Rip because they're like, he never comments. If, you send him a comment or whatever, he never says anything. I went on his page last week. He has like 180,000 subscribers on his channel. Like, there's a lot of comments. Like, there's a ridiculous amount of comments that would probably take like a team of 4 or 5 people, full-time job, to get through commenting to all those people who comment on his channel or his Instagram or his Facebook page. Like, there's no way, you know, the guy's got to have a life, right? So, you know what? Kudos to Rip. You know, he's doing his thing, you know, and he's, you know, he finds builds that other people do and he shares them with people. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool. And he reaches a large audience of people, you know, which is neat. You know, I'd like to see it a little more in-depth and thorough sometimes, because if you watch one of his build videos, there's parts that you kind of have to figure out for yourself a little bit, you know, through trial and error, but whatever, you know, whatever. Who else do I dig? Trevor Jones lately, I've been watching. Around the time when I was watching MC Vapes and stuff like that, I think I saw one of his videos, and I just kind of thought, like, this is kind of a stinker video, and maybe the one that I watched was a stinker. Like, you make enough videos, some of them are going to be stinkers, like how this one could be, you know, but, you know, I saw one and I didn't really think too much about it. And I started making my own videos and whatever, and then somebody commented and said, you should check out this guy's channel. He's got this ohm reader I think you'd like, right? I think it was Rex69, right? Or something like that. I think he said you should check out his channel. You know, sorry if I'm wrong and it was somebody else. But yeah, I checked it out and I really dug his videos. Like, really dug his build videos. They were thorough and they were smart and they were clean, you know? Like, clean builds, just chill to watch. So he's one of the guys I kind of watch. Lately, I haven't been watching a lot of people's videos. Like, honestly, I haven't. Like, I'll watch Trevor's videos because I feel like they're kind of like what I'm into. You know, they're kind of what I'm into. But really, other people's videos, not so much. You know, like, I've watched Suck My Mod, Twisted 420, stuff like that. Ruby once in a while. I've watched Ruby's got some pretty sick juice reviews. Somebody else who does sick juice reviews is this guy. His name is Chris Wicks. Okay. KRISWIXX, and that dude has sick juice reviews. They are so good, man. I dig this dude's videos. Check him out too. Check him out. He's pretty cool, man. What else? I think that's pretty much it. That pretty much sums it up. You know, really, I don't watch a lot of videos because I don't want it to skew my perspective on something. Like, let's say, you know, I'm gonna do a Sentinel video or something like that, which I've already done, but like, if I wouldn't go and watch 5 of them to kind of see what I want to say about it, because I kind of want to just use it and then go, okay, this is my opinion and this is how I feel. Like, even Trevor shot a video for the Doge, and I popped up and I was about to start shooting my Doge video, and it took a lot for me not to watch it. You know, I was just like, I can't watch this video because I don't want it to skew my perception of it. Like, I just kind of wanted to, you know, do my own thing and then, you know, live with those decisions that I made. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I haven't been watching a ton, but there is a ton of cool people out there. You know, there's a ton of cool people out there. I'm sure I forgot some people. You know what I mean? But, you know, what are you going to do, right? Like, hey, man, it is what it is. If there's channels that you want to see, go on my channel. You can see the subscriptions that I have. Like, I subscribe to a bunch of different vape channels. And then there's probably like some dirt bike stuff and guitar stuff. That's what I'm into, you know? So check that out, you know? That's kind of what I'm into, right? But I'm going to cut out of here. Man, the Sentinel hits well, dude. Hits well. You know what I'm going to take it out with? I'm going to tune that out. I'm going to do the box. The box mod from Jimmy. I want to thank you again, Jim. My brother down in Texas. Maestro fucking Vapes crew, man. You are awesome, dude. Thank you so much for this. And this thing's serial number 1. Alright? Like, this was like the first one. Can you see that? That's number 1. Number 1. Sign. Could be worth something one day, right? Yeah, it hits well, man. Let me tune this up. Actually, speaking of stuff I like on YouTube, there's like guitar and, you know, guitar and dirt bikes and vape. That's like what I watch on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it, right? What can I play? I don't even know what to play right now. I'll try and play something. Screwed that up. Something else maybe real quick. Let me see what I can do here. And then how's it go? Oh, then it's like what else is there? There's something cool. Anyway, I'm going to cut out of here. Cool chilling out with you guys. Thanks for sitting in, watching my crappy guitar playing and my ranting about vape stuff and whatever. It's cool to have you. Like I always say, guys, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it is important. Use the right batteries, all that stuff. And you, my friend, are going to have a stellar day, all right? I'm cutting out of here. It's been nice having you. I'll catch you on the next one, all right?